There was a great opportunity with Food and Nutrition Conference and Expo called FNCE. And what does it have to do with the pork industry? Hi, I'm Susan Littlefield with the American Ag Network, and we are going to get all the info and what it means back not only to consumers, but to our pork producers. Emily Kraus joins us, and along with Sarah Hawkins, both attending the event. And Emily, I'm going to kick it off. Talk to me. What is FNCE all about?
Well, FNCE is the largest nutrition professional conference in the US. And this year we saw over 10,000 attendees, and we had a booth at the expo. And it was focused really on pork nutrition, flavor, and how it pairs so well with plants. We had our National Pork Board nutrition team there, as well as pork producers from Tennessee and Kentucky, like Sarah. And we were really able to connect the dots from farm to fork and show that authentic and transparent dialogue with attendees. And we probably interacted with over 1,000 attendees during the 3-day expo, having conversations not only about nutrition, but flavor. We saw attendees love taste what pork can do and the connection that flavor and nutrition have when it comes to pork, along with the science-based information that we love to share. We are also able to share our new resources on hot topics like GLP-1s, sports performance. And this was my 3rd year with National Pork Board at FNCE, and we really have seen over the past 3 years more and more attendees that are coming to us and saying they feel much more confident and have improved perceptions around pork and are sharing that with their clients and patients, which is exactly what the engagement work that we do is about.
Oh, most definitely. Sarah, for you, your involvement and why you attended FNCE.
I was invited to attend as a pork producer. I'm a small producer in Western Kentucky. I'm blessed to I have 7 sows, a farrow to finish operation. So when I was asked to attend the conference, I thought, wow, what can I add or what could I do? And wow, was I blown away. This was amazing. I had no idea what to expect. And one of the first questions I was asked by one of the attendees, so do you see patients or clients? And my immediate answer was no, but I feed pigs. And so that broke the ice and we started talking. So I was there more as the boots on the ground. If anyone had questions regarding pig production, just pig life in general. I don't know much, but what I do know, I'm more than willing and open to share with those. Raising pigs is a passion of mine. And not only are they brilliant animals, but at the end of the day, they're very tasty, nutritious animals as well. So I was blessed to be a part of this, and I was blown away by the many questions that Emily received regarding the nutrition side, regarding the many factors that I had never thought about in introducing pork into diets and menus and culinary schools. It was a very educational experience.
So, Sarah, it sounds like, I mean, you were able not only to be there as a representative, as a pork producer, but you yourself were able to take away some great nuggets of information that you're going to be able to continue to share and reiterate to those that you talk with.
Absolutely, absolutely. First and foremost, you learn something every day, of course, but I love all of our protein partners, our other commodities, go commodity groups of many other types. Love them all. However, a pork tenderloin is extremely lean and nutritious as many of the other proteins that we immediately think. And that was something I didn't realize. I feel like pork oftentimes, when you think of pork, you think of bacon. Who doesn't think of bacon? That's the yummy goodness. Put bacon on anything and it's delicious, right? So that is somewhat, I think, overshadows when we really dive deep into pork as a nutritious option as a protein. And that was the greatest takeaway that I had. And just realizing that, hey, yes, we do have yummy goodness in the bacon and the sausage and brats, but we also have a lot to bring to the table as far as wholesome, sustainable, nutritious protein as well.
Emily, it sounds like she was a great student for you during FNCE. What types of things? I mean, she shared one of the things, but what were some of those unique questions that were brought to you?
Well, I think one of the things, and Sarah kind of alluded to it, is that, one of the aspects that we share is nutrition. But I think the questions we often get is the confidence in preparation. We see that I always say dietitians know nutrition, they don't necessarily know food. And so how are we really sharing with them not only the nutrition, but this is how you prepare it. This is how you share how to prepare it. And, temperature is one of the biggest things that we talk about, whole cuts, 145 followed by a 3-minute rest. I think most of the conversations we have, people have had it overcooked their entire life and just don't think they enjoy it because of that. And so showcasing the ways that they can prepare it and they can share with their patients and clients to prepare it. We love our slow cookers. We love our air fryers. And those can be really convenient ways that they can share with their clients to enjoy pork. Because once they've had a fantastic cut of pork that's prepared well, there's no going back.
So I understand there were some hands-on opportunities as well for those in attendance.
Absolutely. So we had an event on Saturday of the event where we hosted 75 attendees in partnership with International Fresh Produce Association, really highlighting pork and plants, and then had a chef and registered dietitian talk about the cultural dishes from around the world and talk about flavor. And so attendees were able to go through a blind tasting of 4 different dishes featuring 4 different preparation methods and 4 different cuts of pork. And the food was incredible. And we actually had feedback from attendees that not only was the food incredible, but they feel more confident now going into their area of practice and talking about the preparation methods of pork, cooking it themselves at home. We know from a nutrition affordability standpoint that pork is the absolute winner. But if you can't get people to actually purchase it and cook it, then we're missing the whole point. And so they felt a lot more confident in that. And again, the food was amazing. And so it's always great to be able to have that education paired with people actually being able to taste how well pork can taste.
Well, your role, I mean, you're the Director of Nutrition, Health, and Wellness Initiatives with the National Pork Board. Talk to me a little bit more about the Pork Board's human nutrition strategy that they're working on.
Yeah, so really it's advancing the understanding and recognition of pork as nutrient rich, but also flavorful and versatile as a protein within the healthcare professional space. The work that we do is led by our nutrition team at the National Pork Board, but really partnering with producers like Sarah and other industry partners I mentioned are partnering with produce organizations shows that true farm to fork collaboration and helps people see the transparency that we have around how the food gets on their table. As much as we love to talk about pork and promote pork, we recognize that most people, at least, don't just eat pork on the plate. As many people love bacon by itself, but there's more on the plate. And so partnering with those other groups on the plate makes it really put that message and hit it home. And we use continuing education webinars, resources, and events to really drive home that education and build that trust with those healthcare professionals. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are recommending foods to consumers. And that's who consumers go to for advice. So we, at the end of the day, that's really driving that demand. And with that messaging aligning with our consumer campaigns, I'm really excited to see the future of pork.
So, Sarah, for you, I mean, you're a pork producer, you're on the board as a member of the Kentucky Pork Producers. What does it mean to you to see checkoff dollars utilized for human nutrition when it comes to pork?
It warms my heart. I am thankful for that. When you spend each day raising, tending, taking care of these animals, it does your heart good to see that they're being supported and promoted. And education, I feel that education to our public is the key to understanding the preparation of cooking the pork and having it at the proper temperature, but also getting back to the grassroots of where the product comes from. Farm visits. We're real. I am a bucket. The name of my farm is the Feed Bucket. Okay, we start every day with a bucket. Not all farms are like that. I'm blessed to sell direct to consumer, which means local friends, family, church members, etc.
Mhm.
Whereas we have our commercial producers, who I'm their number one cheerleader. They feed the world. I love those guys and gals. They do great things, but we all need to open our gates, open our barns, open our hearts to those that do not know what it takes or means to raise the protein. And I think education, not only from the food preparation side, but just for them to see what it's about and where it comes from and how sustainable pork itself really is. I think that in itself is a true blessing.
Well put. Emily, anything else that you'd like to add as we wrap up our conversation today?
One more thing I'd like to add is that what we're seeing at FNCE is that it's not just about dietitians that eat pork themselves or learning to be open to pork. We actually had several people come by our booth that don't eat pork for religious or cultural reasons, but through the education that they've had with National Pork Board and Pork and Partners, they recommend it to their patients and clients and feel confident in doing so, which I think is a huge win, a huge thing that our industry can be proud of.
And what about you, Sarah? Anything else? Parting thoughts?
I appreciate this opportunity. I'm probably the most underqualified of many of our producers in the state. However, size of the farm doesn't dictate the passion that you have. So with that, I am so thankful to National Pork Board, to Emily, for the opportunity to share a day with her to learn and grow. It was the best day. And I'll end with this. If anyone left that conference hungry, it was their own fault, because every booth was serving amazing items. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fellowship, and I really appreciate this opportunity.
Well, Emily and Sarah, thank you to both of you for joining us, teaching us a little bit more about FNCE and the work that's being done through the National Pork Board to promote human health. I'm Susan Littlefield reporting.